Being led in evidence, the prosecution witness identified a certified true copy of the letter written by the then Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, to the Department of State Service, directing it to investigate the defendant. The letter was tendered and admitted as an exhibit. The witness read the content of the letter from the Attorney General of the Federation, where he listed several alleged acts of terrorism against Nigeria. These acts include arson, kidnapping, killing of security personnel, and an attack on public infrastructure, among others. The letter alleged the leader of the proscribed IPOB of using the unlicensed Radio Biafra to instigate members of the public against the security personnel using unprintable names to describe Nigeria. The second prosecution witness, by name BBB, said it was the content of the letter that prompted the investigation. He told the court that upon his arrest, personnel of the DSS interacted with him for about an hour, asked him to write a statement which he declined, saying he had told them all they needed to hear. A statement form was thereafter given to him, carrying his details, which he signed. The statement was admitted in evidence and read to the hearing of everyone by the witness. The Prosecution Counsel proceeded to tender a flash drive containing audiovisual broadcast by the defendant. The drive was admitted in evidence, even though its admissibility was objected to by the Defense Counsel, Emeka Etiaba, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. The Prosecution Counsel applied for the audiovisual flash drive containing the broadcast to be played, which was granted. In the broadcast, the defendant was seen giving a charge to members of the Eastern Security Network, urging them to protect and defend the lands of the Biafra against people who have been killing them. He decried the alleged killing of Biafra since the Civil War and vowed not to allow that again. In another broadcast streamed live, he was heard charging protesters to go after security personnel and attack public infrastructure. He instructed his followers to go after some prominent Nigerians in the corridor of power, with him placing ransom on one of them. The broadcast, where he ordered lockdown and closure of banks, churches and schools in the East, was also played in court.
Court update of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today being 8th of May 2025. The full details of what happened today. We know that this court case has been going on since this month, and now today, the final judgment today is that this case has been adjourned because of the witnesses' evidences which he provided in the court today. And today, being 8th May 2025, Nnamdi Kanu's court proceedings. In today's sitting at the Federal High Court, I read, according to what I'm seeing on the social media spaces, the defense team led by Barrister Paul raised no objection to the authenticity of a letter submitted by the Attorney General's office, which was admitted into evidence without a contest. The prosecution requested that a video recording, specifically a CD containing an interview of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu following his extraordinary rendition in 2001, that video should be played in the court. So, however, the video initially failed to play due to a technical issue. After several unsuccessful attempts, the prosecutor requested to pause and return to their seat, court transcript and examination. Once the video was successfully loaded, court proceedings resumed with the prosecution questioning a witness identified as BBB. According to this particular trial, prosecution, you'll be hearing me, prosecution witness Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the way they are answering the question. Prosecution witness BBB. Can you identify the people in the video? Witness says, yes, I can. Prosecution. Who are the individuals seated next to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? They are Barrister Lawyer Jimako and Barrister Habila. Both are his legal representatives. This was answered by witness. Now, prosecution proceed to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Can you speak about the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now answered, I am the leader of IPOB. I was granted bail in 2017, 2 years after my arrest. However, soldiers invaded my home, killing 28 people in an attempt to assassinate me. Transcript of the interview played in court. Interviewer, Mr. Kanu, you made a broadcast. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I don't recall which one in particular. Interviewer: we refer to the broadcast made during the NSAS protest. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: the reason for that broadcast was because the army was killing peaceful protesters in Lagos. At this point, Justice Omotosho instructed one of the defense lawyers to assist in resolving the court's technical issues related to the video playback. Interviewer: did you give instructions for attacks on federal infrastructure? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: that would be a misinterpretation. Biafrans by nature are Republican. We act on personal conviction, especially when doing what is right, not based on centralized commands. Interviewer proceeded to say, but you issued directive to your followers. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu responded, while I lead the movement, the daily operations are handled by the Directorate of State known as DOS. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: further, you are referring to events that occurred after the NSAS protests. Why don't you ask about 2015, 2016 or 2017? Interviewer: there were attacks in 2021. Yes, I am aware the Nigerian army killed many people, but the movement I lead is non-violent. Interviewer: your instructions allegedly led to jailbreaks and unrest. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: I maintain that we are not a violent organization. Interviewer: when you were arrested, when were you arrested? When were you arrested? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu interjecting, I wasn't arrested, I was kidnapped. Interviewer: what is your relationship with the Eastern Security Network known as ESN? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: the ESN is a vigilant group, and like all others, it exists to protect communities across Biafran land. No be small thing. Another audio broadcast was played in that particular court, and they said nobody can stop us. Ojukwu said it long ago. We are unstoppable, and our enemies know this. We are sensitizing our people. Talking how Igbos were forcibly taken into other regions to further divide us. Witness: the broadcast was to confirm whether or not he made the broadcast. Interviewer: you said kill them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: would you support security agents killing people? Interviewer now answered no. Interviewer now say, what about the sit-at-home orders of 30th May? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: you are ascribing powers to me that I do not have, or should I say I lack. Is it when I say let there be light and there would be light? Witness: what we are asking him is why he asked people not to go out on the 30th of May, and as a result, people died. Prosecution: Ahmed Gulak and his assassination in the Southeast. Justice Omotosho interjected by saying, I do not have such name here. It is not on the record. The video continued playing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu educating the DSS on how political issues should be resolved and how people interpret information differently. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu: it is up to people how they assimilate or incorporate instructions or directives. Everything people do is based on their understanding. And another inclusion in all these things is that they equally ask Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a question. But I want you guys to know something, that nobody is insane or mad. Why this obsession of killing people in Nigeria? We are in a democratic country. People must have a way of channeling their grievances. Let's say by protesting. You understand? To tell the government about what they are passing through. But why is it that when it comes to Nigerians' own, it becomes killing? If you exercise your right, you will be killed. That is the Nigeria of today. Does it indicate that we are not in a democratic country? That is the question. Nigeria in its entirety is no longer practicing democracy, which is the government of the people, by the people and for the people. It is now the government of the politicians, by the politicians and for the politicians. They now choose to kill whoever they want to kill, abduct whoever they want to abduct, free whoever they want to free. That is the kind of country we find ourselves into. They equally ask Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a question. Tell me about your background, your education, your family, your career, and again, which state are you from? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu replied, Abia State. They now ask him another question, that after you left Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now said, no, I saved myself. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu replied, DSS, where have you been and what were you doing there? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is my business. As it dey hot, in this particular case that you guys are seeing, which has been going viral for some days now, this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is opening old wounds. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been killed if at all they caught him on that particular Operation Python. That's in 2017. That cleared about 3,000 Igbo youth lives. 28 people were killed in his family house. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu escaped death. This will still get mind to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and bring him back to Nigeria. The question now is, where is Muhammad Buhari? Buhari should not be left behind in this case. That is number one. Secondly, the military personnel that we are sent to go and buy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are conducted or partake in that Operation Python that should be brought to justice. Now, people like them buy. Fulanis have been terrorizing Southeast. What exactly did the government do to protect the people of Southeast? Nothing. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu created ESN, were there killings going on in Southeast? That is yes. These are the questions that should be asked to the Nigerian government. They are expected to answer all these questions. Let's see if actually they will, jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or not. Because as they hot, people are saying that this particular video and audio record of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu be played, will be used against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that they have already seen a video that we used to jail. You cannot jail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot jail him.